The gatekeeper of an elevator to the moon meets, day after day, a girl without papers. An archer pinning for her love shoots messages to the moon as shooting stars. In a world where humanity's first explorations to the moon found not a barren planet, but a place where legends came true. Two girls meet at an elevator to the moon. The beautiful immortal Chang'e lives on the moon, while these two wait on Earth for something. Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and today we are sitting to another game from Fornoki. We are playing a lot of Fornoki's game lately, don't we? Which is fine, to be honest, in my opinion. So we are playing Moon Archer Shooting Stars, which was created for the Stars Jam of 2020. It's been a while, that's for sure, since the game was published, but that is not really a problem, as we do play games from the past as well. Let's see what this is about, how this will play out. On the moon, there lived a beautiful immortal named Chang'e. Her jade rabbit pounded night after night the elixir of immortality. Interesting. Even generations ago, when humanity had first set foot onto the moon, people knew of such a legend. It was only that they hadn't expected the story to be true. City A, the city with an elevator to the moon. Tonight as well, I manned the entry gate to the elevator. I processed papers and people under the stars in the far-off outskirts of the city. The paperwork was dull, the people even duller. No amount of fame or wealth could buy the way to Moon Country. White hair, red eyes. She looked as if she was cursed by the sun. At first I thought of her as just another girl who was curious about the elevator. She had neither an elevator permit nor any papers required for visiting the moon. In fact, it seemed that she didn't even have an ID on her. Was she a human or a fairy? To come here so boldly and look at me with eyes that seemed to see even the furthest of stars.
Gatekeeper, you? Is there any other way for me to go up? Would you like to fill out an application for access? It won't guarantee anything, but it may be worth a shot. That would be appreciated.
Access to Moon Country was limited, so one couldn't just fly a rocket up. Just the thought of all the paperwork made me wince. Then again, here I was filling out paperwork.
No family name, Miss Yi? Yeah, as of now I have no family name. I'm simply Yi.
I see. I was a little suspicious, but then again, there were many strange people who came here. In the end, they all blurred together. Her hands wrote nimbly. Perhaps she had practiced calligraphy in the past.
Is there a preference for how my contact information is filled out? Nah, as long as you can be contacted.
When she finished, I looked at the neatly written characters to find that the paperwork was diligently filled out.
Many thanks, Gatekeeper, you. You're welcome. Have a good rest of your evening.
After she left, I expected to never see her again. People came and left like trenched clouds. I looked up to the sky to see if there were clouds today. The moon was bright. When there was no one here and nothing else to do, I would stargaze as I settled in for another long night shift. And so the night passed. Yet the girl returned night after night. She did not come every night, but still frequently enough for her to face watching the moon to linger in my mind. I wondered what she wanted so desperately to go up there for. I wasn't bothered by her presence, and she didn't do anything out of place. I was simply curious. For that reason, I spoke to her at an hour where there was no one else present but us.
Missy, why do you want to go to the moon? To meet Aang, my wife. It's been a lifetime since I last saw my wife, so I wanted to meet her again. What's she like? The most beautiful woman on earth. Oh, I suppose it should be that she's the most beautiful woman on the moon. Strong and kind. I don't believe I can put it into words. She's the person who set my heart. But again, that might be what love is.
Having never been in love, I did not confirm or deny her words. What a good expression she had on her face. Filled with a tender feeling like water, deep and profound affection.
I hope you can see her again soon. Many thanks, Gatekeeper, you.
Perhaps because of that conversation, we began to talk more frequently. Come rain or snow, she would always return. Her wife on the moon must have been a lucky woman, as he never stopped speaking about her. It wasn't appropriate for me to be nosy about her domestic matters, so I didn't ask about topics such as how they came to be separated, and why meeting was so difficult. Before I knew it, we had become friends.
Have you ever wondered why the elevator is in a place like City A? Many times, but never have I found the answer. This is just something I heard from a coworker, but apparently Lady Chang'e asked for the elevator to be built on this land. According to rumors, this was the place where her husband, Howie, was buried, and also the place where they used to live when she was on Earth. Nobody was found, so who knows how true it is.
It was as if Lady Chang'e was still waiting for Howie. I already connected the dots. Just like he, yeah?
Her husband. I heard she really talks to others much less about the past. You're right, because of that we still don't know the truth behind the legends of the past. We can confirm parts of the legend of Chang'e, but very little of Howie's existence. It's a bit frustrating. Atu, you like legends? Yeah, I do.
As a child, I had always liked them very much. Seeing as Chang'e was confirmed to be real, a noble lady on the moon, I had liked her the most. The most popular version of the story went something like this. There lived a beautiful woman named Chang'e who was married to the divine archer Howie. Howie had been given an elixir of immortality by the gods for his great deeds. One day, when Howie was out hunting, his jealous apprentice Feng Meng broke into the couple's house. Feng Meng threatened Chang'e wanted to steal his master elixir of immortality. Not allowing Feng Meng to steal the elixir, Chang'e had no choice but to swallow it herself. However, upon consuming the elixir, she began to float away up to the moon. She could not even say goodbye to Howie, and only managed to bring her pet rabbit along in time. Thus, to this day, Chang'e lives on the moon with her pet rabbit. And what do we learn from that legend? If you get something special from someone, for example, or you create something, you don't tell about it to anyone. That also, in the current world, refers to like winning a lottery. You don't spread the news with anyone, because they'll try to get it from you. And you see over here what happened. That's a lesson from this legend, in a way. That freaking student or whatever, he should have not known about the elixir at all, basically.
Between Chang'e and Howie, who do you like more? I would have to choose Chang'e. Howie is fascinating, but no one really knows anything about him.
Howie was a divine archer who slew many fierce beasts that plagued humanity. That sounds familiar. His most famous feat was shooting down 9 of 10 suns. What? In the past there were 10 days of the week, so for each day there was one sun. However, the suns one day decided that they wanted all to rise. Thus began a period of eternal day, an apocalyptic burning landscape. In order to save humanity from the peril, Howie was dispatched to stop the suns. To do so, he shot down sun after sun till only one remained. The last one, caught by his might, rose and set every day on schedule from then on. Howie's legends had never been confirmed. The sun, as we knew, it was simply a fiery ball, a large star that lit our solar system. Between someone who existed and someone who didn't, I would always prefer the former. Huh. Maybe. Yet, I felt like he might prefer Howie over Chang'e.
Who do you like more? Chang'e as well, of course. So that's both of us. Why do you look surprised? Won't your wife get jealous if you say you like Chang'e? Thank you for the concern, but she wouldn't get jealous. At least not over this topic. Just between you and me, I'm the one who has the tendency to get jealous.
I'm the same.
Haha, I can see it.
We had silly little conversations like this, standing apart from each other. We were not too far, but not particularly close either. Some nights when I hadn't slept well during the day, I wondered if she was real. Was she a human or a fairy? She was distant and mysterious. I didn't really know her at all, but I enjoyed her company nonetheless. Then again, there was that incident we didn't talk about. Some magnate had tried to force his way in when his papers turned out not to be enough, so he came to the rescue by disarming quite literally his goons. For a minute I have thought that she was a demon rather than a fairy. More importantly, the ensuing mess with security was not something I liked to think back to. The nights continued on. Shooting stars had become quite frequent to see in the sky since I met he. Tonight as well I saw one soar through the sky, so I made a wish.
I hope they meet soon. I hope they meet soon. I hope they meet soon.
He didn't come on nights with shooting stars. I made a wish for her anyway. I hoped for he and her wife to reunite soon. Part of me also wanted to see this wife of hers who she only spoke praise for. It really seemed like I was asking them to stuff dog food into my face, but alas, I was a single dog without a speck of romance in my life. Play some dating sims then. If shooting stars granted wishes, I asked them to grant this one for me.
How did I first meet Ahang? Badly. It was not a beautiful meeting. I met her while dressed in men's clothing and covered in blood. It wasn't my blood, but blood is blood. At that time, she was already prettier than the stars, but my heart was very cold. When I was directed to kill, I killed. When I was directed to stop, I stopped. Everything was very abstract, and I was told that what I did made humanity prosper. Yet my heart was frozen and shriveled. My engagement with her was bestowed to me for my good deeds, so I married her. If I were in her position, I surely would have run far, far away. But she didn't run away. Instead, she smacked me over the head, telling me that I wasn't living. Even if I had medicine from the gods, the way I was living wasn't living. I wasn't cruel yet, but I simply empty. I'm sure I had the capability to become a tyrant back then. Someone who'd shoot down even a baby bird if it seemed to get in my way. But then I fell in love with her.
So you changed?
Yes. I can't imagine the you of the past.
Oh, maybe I could. I could see someone ruthless in her, just a little bit.
That's good.
Sometimes I ended with more questions than answers. Perhaps she had been raised as an assassin or a child soldier, but it didn't seem real to me.
There is not much need for violence these days. Humanity really has gone far. I suppose I could still fashion a club out of beech wood. Heh, that kills me.
I wonder if she was making a reference to the story of Howie's death. The divine archer had survived many assassination attempts by his jealous apprentice Feng Meng. Howie's skills with the bow simply too sophisticated. When Feng Meng finally killed Howie, it was with a club cut out of the peach tree. What a violent death.
Psst, you better live till you meet your wife again. Of course! I have to meet her this lifetime.
If there was anything in this world that I knew with certainty, it must have been Ian's love for her wife. Yeah? When another night came with another shooting star, I once more wished for the two lovers to reunite. Why was it that they couldn't meet? I wondered what circumstances prevented them from seeing each other. And who was he? As expected, my curiosity on the fairy girl's identity had not disappeared. A girl who came to the desolate elevator gate night after night, without the papers or authority to ascend to the moon. She simply wanted to meet the one she loved. Then again, she was a lot of things. As I gradually came closer to an answer, more and more questions piled up in my mind. That stuff happened to throw out all of my conjectures. It was not on another night at the gate, but on a night where I had been told to take a break and not show. Since I was nocturnal for my job, my body wouldn't allow me to sleep. Not caring to navigate City A's nightlife scene, I packed a soft blanket and picnic for myself to go stargazing on one of the hills in the outskirts of the city. As I climbed up the hill, I saw her. She had a bow in hand, drawing back the bowstring in a practice movement. Her eyes looked toward the moon, unwavering. Upward, her bow aimed upward as if she could shoot the stars down from the sky. The arrow had something. A letter tied to it. I narrowed my eyes as if seeing something dazzling. Perhaps because of that, I didn't see the moment she shot the arrow. Surely it was practiced, smooth, just like breathing to her. Even though I didn't see, I somehow knew. As my eye adjusted to follow the arrow that was flying impossibly quickly, that very arrow that should become unseen to my human eyes became a shooting star. I must have let out a gasp, but she didn't turn her eyes away from the sky. She was watching the arrow, the shooting star, fly even as it disappeared from my view, hoping for it to deliver the message she wrote. She was waiting. After who knew how long, she finally lowered her bow and looked away from the sky to me.
Oh, Atu, you are watching. Do you think my message will reach a hang?
Of course it will. Of course it won't. The words were lodged in my throat like thick glue.
What? Who are you? I am simply...
Now sure that she wasn't human. She left after seeing I had nothing else to say. I was alone with my thoughts on the hill, and stargazing no longer seemed as pleasant a way to spend the night. I met her again at the elevator gate. We decided not to talk about the previous night. The many shooting stars I'd been seeing were her messages to her wife. More than just deciding not to talk about the previous night, we didn't talk at all that time. She looked at the moon like always, yearning for the person who she would shoot stars for. From the start, I had that feeling. Her eyes were looking somewhere far away, detached from the material world like a fairy. As usual, she didn't bother me as I stayed my shift. Instead, she just waited for me to speak if I want to talk, and not once forced a conversation. While she watched the moon, I found myself watching her. Our silent meetings continued for a while.
Yeah, I think of you as a friend. I'm half convinced that you're a fairy, but you're still a friend. I'm not a fairy. But thank you. I think of you as a friend as well. Should we have a drink together sometime? I'm sure there is saying about how you have to get to know people when they are sober and when they are drunk to really know them. I will be happy to have a drink with you. I want to see what sort of drunk you are. That's a good little motive. Unfortunately, I don't get drunk very easily. I'm partial to strong liquors like Mo Tai, but reds like Ao Yun are pleasant too. Expensive tastes. Should I bring some alcohol here next time? I'm thoroughly tempted, but I'm not supposed to drink on my shift.
Perhaps it was the other way around.
Ooh, what a great loss. You're a terrible influence.
After promising to get drinks together, our nights together seemed to return to as they were before. She came to visit time after time, and as stated, we never did get around to cracking open a bottle of Ao Yun while I was on my shift. I hoped she could meet her wife soon. When I thought about it, that would be a great excuse to have a drinking party, but her wife would not be happy if I got her flat out drunk. Another night, I was checking the news.
Lady Chang'e might be getting remarried? What? Never mind, articles nowadays are all clickbait. Lady Chang'e has many suitors like always, and this time she seems to have met with some of them. I don't know if that means she's receiving suitors right now, but it may be a sign that she's looking to remarry since she's known for not speaking with outsiders. A reclusive beauty untouched by the outside world. Do you think she wants to remarry? Maybe. This is the most positive response any suitors have gotten. She's been alone for thousands of years too. Fair point. If she does remarry, this place will become much busier. I see. Are you worried about the topic of remarriage? You've seen right through me, Atu. I don't know what I would do if Hank didn't want me anymore, but I would not be surprised if she no longer believed that I would come find her. It's been a long time since we've last met. You're still young, it's different. I wonder if it is. Well, for one thing, you're alive. You're here, sending messages, shooting stars even, which is absurdly romantic. And you're still trying to find a way up and contact her.
The shooting stars hadn't stopped.
Thank you. I still need to keep on trying.
Even a girl who never gave up would start to lose steam. Now, then, if I took a step back, it should have been clear to me that she wasn't in a position where getting to the moon was easy. As if having failed time and time again, at one point she had said this.
At times I find bureaucracy difficult, so dependent on connections.
Yes. She was a strange, unidentified girl without papers. Where would she get connections? I just expected her to never give up. Should I have been surprised when she came to me and said this? On that bitterly cold night, so cold I was slow to move my rigid fingers, maybe already a few months since we first met, she arrived with an odd expression on her face. It was the eyes. It was always her eyes. And she said words sharper than the chilling air.
Tonight is the last night I come here. I have but one last message to deliver to the moon, and I will do so from the highest point by scaling the elevator tower's walls. Then I won't show my face here again.
What?
Perhaps I wanted to say goodbye, Atu. I don't want to have to hurt you, so don't bother calling security. You already know how that will turn out.
I knew. The disarming incident was still fresh in my mind. She started walking away. Wait! I grabbed her wrist. This was the first time I had ever made physical contact with her. Her wrist was surprisingly thin and she was really damn cold.
Atu, you have 5 seconds to speak before I throw you off.
I was scared and my grip was weak. Her eyes were that of a wolf looking at a rabbit. I couldn't let her go.
Wait, you moron. I'll take you up. If you just stop, I'll take you up. I don't have the access to use the elevator, but if you're going to be like this, at least let me take you up the maintenance stairs on the side. What sort of shitty goodbye is this? And would you really hurt me? Sorry. Will you let me take you up?
After she nodded, I brought her towards the elevator. There were a few people present, but her being with me removed any suspicious looks. We reached the maintenance stairs on the side of the elevator and I unlocked the gate. From there we began to climb the stairs, which went up as high as reasonable for a person to reach in the sky. Step, step, step. I didn't want to look down. More steps.
I wanted to see her hang again for so long, but this bunch may already be moving on with her life and ready to forget me even when I am not ready to forget her. Maybe she even blames me.
Although I began to get tired walking up the endless stairs, he began to speak as if this exercise was nothing difficult.
By a fault of mine, I lost contact with her. I can only send her letters through the sky and pray that my words will reach her. I was a fool who took in a white-eyed wolf. I passed down my skills to him, but he bit the hands that fed him, harming my wife so that we were separated and then harming me as well. I should have killed him the second he bared his fangs, but I didn't.
Yeah, you should have.
Only a fool worms a venomous snake in their bosom. Only someone worse than a fool lets that snake bite their loved one. Now that I've said these things to you, do you view me differently?
No. Not at all.
You're a good friend.
We kept climbing until we could climb no more. Until the stairs stopped. I was exhausted, my legs aching in ways that I didn't think they could. Yet she looked unfazed and not a hair out of place as she looked at the sky around us. I was scared to look down. CTA in the distance looked small and insignificant.
I love a hang.
Where did she get that bow and arrow again? There was a message tied to the arrow.
Oh, it seems that she's called by a different name now.
She placed the arrow onto the bowstring in preparation to shoot. Her eyes never parted from the moon high above. Like a breathing, like flowing water, she pulled the bowstring tautly back. She aimed and released the arrow to the sky. The arrow turned into a shooting star. As she lowered her bow, she silently watched the star fly and then looked away. I tried to follow the star with my eyes, but I quickly lost track of it. All was quiet.
Are you
okay? My question was interrupted as she suddenly moved to the railing of the highest point on the stairs and flung herself over them. For a moment she seemed to be flying.
Sorry, this is a goodbye.
Then I could no longer see her. I rushed down the stairs, not yet fully comprehending. Not just once, I nearly tripped in my haste, save only by a fast grip onto the railing. I was lucky not to have twisted an ankle in my falls, but I could feel the bruising forming. The ascending went faster than ascending, but still took a while, leaving me wheezing. At the place where she would have been a splat on the ground, there was nothing. No ambulances or crowd had gathered. I looked around a bit, hurrying around the elevator, but I found nothing. She really was like a fairy. From that night on, I no longer saw her at the gate. No matter how many nights passed, she never returned. The people were dull, the paperwork duller. He was nowhere to be found, and even the shooting stars ceased to fly across the sky. I waited. Then I met her.
Are you too?
A fairy.
Are you a too?
Chang'e, the immortal on the moon.
Hello, me to ask again. Are you the one who goes by the name you too?
For some reason she was talking to me of all people. I recognized her from the few pictures constantly shown on the news. She was definitely Chang'e. Shouldn't she have had an escort, as she was known to be a recluse? Had she snuck away? Why had she spoken my name? Thoughts raced through my head, and I nearly forgot to respond.
My apologies, Lady Chang'e. I'm you too. How can I help you? Thank you, Gatekeeper. You needn't to be too formal with me. I'm searching for Chang'e. Her letter said she was here, and you were her friend, but I received them late, much too late. I know she's no longer here. She mentioned you many times in her letters. I cannot bear to lose her again. So please help me find her. Please. Lady Chang'e, if I may ask, are you a hang? Yes. I haven't been called that in a long time.
Once upon a time, the name Chang'e had been Hang'e. The tradition of naming taboo had changed to Chang after Emperor Wen of Han came to power. For the centuries after the Emperor Wen of Han to the time when humanity first reached the moon, the name of the woman in the stories was Chang'e.
Will you help me find he? Of course I will. It's just that I never actually sought her out myself, and we haven't each got that information, so I'm not sure how to start. She hasn't come around for a while. If it's impossible, I won't trouble you. She's the only person I love in this world. To think she was alive was already too much of a dream. Even if it takes another 4,000 years, I'll roam the earth in search of her. I don't want to think, wait. Please don't do anything rash. How do I contact her?
I remember how we first met. It was on a night like this, but now our roles were reversed. The one she searched for had arrived, and now we had to find her instead.
On that day we first met, she filled out some paperwork. On that paperwork she left an address and phone number. Let us head there right away. But the address is just a mailbox, not a home. I'm not sure what the number will lead to, especially now that she's given up. I'm going to try calling her.
Dialing the number, I put the phone on speaker as we waited for someone to pick up. After who knew how long, all we received was an automated voicemail message. Perhaps the number wasn't even the correct number. Nonetheless, I try again. I know voicemail messages well enough to tell if what we heard was from her refusing to pick up the phone being out of battery or something else. On the third ring of our nth try, someone finally picked up. A hoarse voice.
Chang'e! I must be hallucinating. A hang still sounds the same as before. You're not hallucinating, He. Did my messages reach you on the moon? Petite, I'm sorry I received them so late. I love you, don't give up on me. Those are my words. I want to let you move on, but I guess I couldn't because I couldn't even bear to drink Granny Meng's soup after so many years. Was my fault that you had to suffer in hell for so long and couldn't be reborn? No, it was my fault that you were stuck on the moon all alone for so long. You never forgot about me and set out my favorite snacks as offerings, always. So I did. Do you still like those? I do. I'm glad. Where are you right now? I don't know. I wanted to find a place you like, but the place I think like is already gone. I'm going there right now.
Wait. Where is that? Let me drive you there.
Thank you, Otto.
The phone cut off at that moment. Had she run out of battery? Although I could be fired for running off in the middle of my shift, I quickly discarded that worry. This wasn't the time for that. With Lady Chang'e in my car, as absurd as that was, I drove. We drove for a long time. Finally, we reached our destination. It was a hill where once beautiful flowers must have bloomed. He sat at the top of the hill gazing at the stars. Before I could speak, Chang'e rushed up the hill and flew into his arms. They toppled over onto the grass and embraced. How long had it been since they last touched? Since they last saw each other? Surely they were both smiling and sobbing, speaking of all the things they couldn't these past many centuries. They didn't separate, sharing a kiss while entangled. I stayed a distance away to not disturb the reunion. Looking up, I noticed a shooting star in the sky. This one wasn't a letter from me to Hank. Thinking of shooting stars, I realized that my wish had also come true. It was so sweet! I mean, I do believe this is like a Chinese myth. Am I correct? I think this is a Chinese, like, mythology in a way. Overall, super nice story, to be honest. It is a little similar, I mean, not similar, but let's say, I kind of have seen the connection to a certain Greek archer. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, but yeah. Yeah, it is Chinese mythology. Super cute story overall, not gonna lie. Glad we managed to get the two of them to be together again. Glad they can basically have a happy ending overall. And I guess it's showing like a actual true love, I would say. Considering the fact that it's been like thousands of years where they were separated. The guy, or should I say our friends technically, you know, constantly trying to get to the moon in a way, not giving up on true love, and also the moon princess not accepting any other people to be with her. That's nice. That's a very amazing sign of love for the both of the people here. Yeah, that was definitely beautiful. That definitely would be nice, right? Like having love like that, basically. Someone you would fight for no matter what, no matter the obstacles in a way. And then someone who would, you know, no matter what, not try to find someone else. I think I'm that type of person, to be honest. Once you truly fall in love, you later, you know, basically never want anyone else. I think I am someone who would be like that, basically. Yeah. Anyway, that was from Fornoki. Moon Archer Shooting Stars. Link to the game in the description as per usual, of course. The game is on itch.io. You can go and play it yourself too if you want. And give it a solid good rating, of course, because it definitely deserves a good rating. Also, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking this. If you're new around, subscribe. We'll be playing more games similar to this, not similar to this as well, and so on and so on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you'll have a wonderful day. Hope I'll see you in the next game as well. Bye bye.